Retro Blood.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Retro Blood as we continue our Halloween October 2025 series-long reviews. Not only is it the anniversary of the Retro Blood, all right, going strong for 4 years, but we are talking about one of the most hidden franchises that I can think about in the horror movies, and maybe for good reason, because we have been exploring the entire 1980s Howling series.
Yeah.
Up next,
Howling.
If y'all like science,
I love science.
as in marsupial science. If y'all like the great land of Australia, which I was at last month, I could talk a little bit about that. Brother, I could not believe it. I was in like 3 of the filming locations that they did this film. If only I knew at the time. All right. If y'all like plots that involve werewolf creatures getting out of the shadows, attacking humans, but they're only attacking them to save their own life. But then everything was okay because the Pope said so. Then this is the review for you, brother. Because the Retro Blood is talking all about Howling 3. Marsupials. Did I say that right? Marsupials?
Marsupials.
Oh, okay. Marsupials.
Howling 3, the Marsupials. Right. Yes.
J.H. Alison, James Kline. What's happening, Alison? Well, I guess I should say this to my... I was going to say, how was your trip to Australia? But I would be the one that would probably be asking that.
Yeah, my virtual trip to Australia was fantastic.
Your 1987 trip to Australia.
Yeah, my time travel extent. Yeah. So, man, I got to tell you, this is probably not what you expected me to hear, expected to hear on the show.
Yeah.
This is my favorite Howling movie.
Oh, okay.
And I knew that going into it, but I didn't want to spoil anything for you. Like, I want you to go into it untainted.
Yes.
And I really wish that I could have watched this with you just to see the look on your face.
Well, okay, hold on. Okay, so to be honest with you, I like this film too. All right. So,
right.
I like this film too. And then, before we get into it, this is a requested film from our super fan out there in Australia, Andres. All right.
Oh, nice.
He sent me. I just want to shout him out because he sent me a whole list of Australian. Because he knew we were Australia, being here, we're messaging back and forth. I couldn't go visit him because he was like 10 hours away.
Yeah.
But he sent me a list of Australian films, and I saw this one on there, and I was like, oh shit! I was like, hey man, we're probably gonna be doing this film in there, and he told me it was a wild one too. So, but yeah, like, all right, so you all have been following along with this. If you're not, hey, you're joining brand new. Okay, so this one, I actually like this one because this one was like one of those movies where you're like explaining shit the whole time. You know what I mean? Like, I did like the fact that we had, like, they broke the fourth wall on a couple scenes. I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
I like the fact that they explored the werewolf creatures kind of being like an endangered species, and they had to fight for their life. That's why they were killing people. I like the fact that we had like this scientist guy, Beckenridge, out there out there putting his money where his mouth is. All right. Not only did he dedicate his whole career talking about this like one small clip that he got in Australia, okay, but he was out there trying to find the marsupials of mankind. And then he found his love of some Russian girl and stuff, and he was all about it. And he was always true to character. All right, I like that. But what was tripping me out was the comedy in the movie. Just so random.
So, we'll talk about that. Like, I'm not 100% sure the comedy is intentional. I can't decide if it is or not.
Have you seen that director guy? Whatever his name was, that guy was full comedy, bro.
Okay,
I cannot. Okay, the scene where we first see them.
Yeah.
Okay. if you all have been to Sydney before, you all know exactly where I'm talking about. So there's this scene, and I might want to save it, but there's this scene, right, that when we first meet all the filming crew, and that's when Beckeridge and his friend, the agency guy, when they were going to they're just walking around. They're like, oh, there's a film being shot here, bro. Where all those statues are, bro. Those statues are like in a park right by this castle-looking church. Yeah. All right. I think it might be a St. Mary's church. I'm not sure, but I was in that church. Okay, and I walked around. I was going to say,
that's the one you took pictures of, right?
Yeah, I took pictures, and I went to that park that's like right across the street. And man, the statues, bro, these statues are like so wild looking. Like you didn't get the concept of the statues that they were filming by. If they would have shot those statues, you'd be like, what the fuck is going on? Like there's one where it's all like a fucking, there's like a bull that's a man. It's laying down like this, and there's like this Roman dude holding his motherfucker with his cock hanging all out and shit, and like a fucking about to spear his ass. And that's fucking right. Everybody just walks past you. You can see his little tiny penis hanging out everywhere in this fucking streets, brother. And then there's another one. It just like the statues are super cool. Obviously they got some sort of biblical shit about it. Obviously I don't know anything about that.
Right.
But there's some cool biblical stuff. I'll try to share some pictures if I can. I'm not sure if I can do it on the screen right now, but I'll try to share some pictures over here of kind of what I'm talking about that I took, because I remember going to that park and I was just like, what in the fuck is going on over here? People just sitting around there having fucking sandwiches and shit with their kids and everything. And next thing you know, you get this fucking bull laying down. This guy's fucking small cock over him. All right. I was like, holy shit, you guys are wild down here. All right. And I do got a funny story too about me going into the St. Mary's Church. First of all, I love this church and shit because it looked like something out of Castlevania. All right. Yeah. So I took a bunch of videos and shit of that, and I walked into the church and everything, and I was taking videos and stuff. And I'll just tell it here. So I'm taking my brother. Every religious person is just gonna kick me out, bro. All right. You know me. I just show up and try to do fun stuff. So I'm taking my video in the church and everything because I wanted to make a little reel. And I was going to make that reel and put the Castlevania Symphony of the Night music to it. You know, some cool stuff. So I'm filming. And like, you know where they do their little praying on the bench? All right? There's like that part that you can put your knees on. Well, me, I don't fucking go to church. And I didn't know that was there. So I tripped on that. All right? So I'm tripping. And I said, holy shit. All right? And then there's this old lady who was super duper praying. She like looked back at me like this. And I was like, oh, my bad. I almost tripped. And I just fucking left. So that was my experience at the church, brother.
Yeah, man. You gotta respect the quietness of the church, man.
I know. But, I should have known because we reviewed the church. Yeah. All right. That Demons supposedly sequel. Exactly. Check it out in the archives, everybody. Great movie. But that's my two stories about the statue and that church around there in the good old Sydney. So, but yeah, I mean, like this movie was, it was just different. You know what I mean? Like I actually liked the way this one was filmed compared to the other two so far. I thought this one, it almost borderlined on too much information. Okay. But I thought overall, I actually thought the story was, you know, once you get past some of the quirkiness, I thought the story was actually pretty well done. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of... So, like, you're talking about the part about the Pope. Yeah. It's probably the weirdest part of the movie.
Well, that was at the end.
Right, but that's one of the weirdest parts of the movie. Well, that just kind of comes out of nowhere.
Well, the president...
in a whole movie full of weird shit. Like, this movie is just fucking weird.
It is
like, I'm pretty sure that Felipe Mora just dropped a bunch of acid when he made this. Like, there's no way.
Speaking of acid, when they get up to Candy and him painting his body ritual style, I'm pretty sure he was on some acid, brother.
Absolutely.
All right. So we'll get there.
Absolutely.
But we have a lot to talk about when it comes to there. So we'll get right into it. We'll get right into the history segment of what was going on in the world of the pro wrestling and the metal music around the release date All right, so we have a November release date over here of November 13th, 1987. So we're in the 1987 era. Really good stuff going on in the metal music and the world of pro wrestling. So, you know, this one, like I said, like, you know, this one was actually, I believe, and I could be wrong, I believe that this was the last Howling movie to have a theatrical release.
I believe so. I believe Howling 4 went straight to VHS.
Yes. And I'm not too sure about the later ones, like 7 and stuff, and the Reborn. But I don't
think any of those went to theaters.
Yeah, I think the 90s ones also, too, were like straight to home video. But
yeah.
But I'll go first when it comes to the pro wrestling and stuff.
Okay.
After we are done watching this at the theater, what we would do is we would, me and Alison would be arguing at this particular time. Who do we think is the wrestler of 1987 from the Pro Wrestling Illustrated and the Wrestling Observer? So let's play a little game here, Alison.
All right.
I won't make it too hard. I mean, this one should be pretty fucking easy. Who do you think was the PWI Wrestler of the Year in 1987?
Oh, actually, this is not as easy as you think it might be. I am going to say Randy Savage.
No, see, that would have been my guess and my pick for 1987 because didn't he win the belt around there?
Yeah. Am I going to be surprised?
No, you won't be surprised, but you'd be a little shocked because they gave the award to Hulk Hogan.
Okay. So you know, that's who you would think, right? Like that's my first instinct.
Yes.
But then I'm like, well, it's 87, so Macho Man was coming up, so maybe it's Randy Savage. My pick would have been Ricky Steamboat, but anyway.
Well, yeah, that would have been a good one for this year too. But
Hulk Hogan, wow. Okay.
Yeah, Hulk Hogan on that one. So, but yeah, you know, obviously Hulk Hogan, wasn't 87 where they had WrestleMania 3. You know what I mean? So I was thinking about Macho Man is the following year, or the following 2 years. No, he's the following year that he won at WrestleMania. He ran at WrestleMania 4. Okay. Yes.
Yeah. Well, but wasn't the Randy Savage Ricky Steamboat match at WrestleMania 3 like that's probably the best match of the year? I mean, that match is incredible.
Speaking of that, that's what won. Best match of the year.
Well, it should
on the PWI chart.
The best one.
All right. So I kind of like their list, this PWI list. So we have the PWI Tag Team of the Year, okay, which is actually they gave it to the Midnight Express.
Wow. Okay.
Bobby Eaton and Stan Lane.
Yeah, all right. They deserve it.
We have the Feud of the Year of 1987, which is the Four Horsemen, Ric Flair, Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard, and Lex Luger versus the Superpowers, Dusty and Nikita and the Road Warriors. Probably because they had that War Games match.
Yeah. I would have picked that too, but I'm surprised they didn't pick Andre and Hogan though.
Yeah, Andre and Hogan. Ooh boy. I mean, yeah, that's a tough one.
Because I mean, that match wasn't great, but the feud was. You know what I mean?
I know. I mean, yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, yeah, I might have to go with Andre and Hulk too as the feud of the year because boy, did that bring in a ton of wrestling fans.
Yeah, and then that whole scene, that whole promo they did where Andre ripped this cross off of Hogan.
Yeah.
And he like made him bleed a little bit, and he's like, "Oh, you ripped the cross off me, brother." Yeah, that was a really good promo. But I mean, I would have picked the Superpowers versus Four Horsemen too, but that's just my bias toward.
Yeah,
Crockett,
I mean, that's like exactly. That's obviously that's a better wrestled match, but when it comes to box office and eyeballs, I mean, so who do you think won the most popular wrestler of the year? I'm just curious of what you think.
The most popular wrestler of the year.
From all, not just WWF, but we're talking about WWF and Crockett. All right. And I'll give you a hint. They lean more towards the Crockett territory.
Okay. Is it Ric Flair?
No. This is the popular wrestler.
Oh, like a face. Like a baby face.
A baby face,
yes. 1987?
Yep.
Dusty Rhodes?
Yes, you got it.
Okay, all right.
The man himself, Dusty Rhodes, won the most popular wrestler of the year, according to the PWI. And speaking of Ric Flair, he won the most hated wrestler of that year.
Okay.
All right. Now, this one is a weird one. It says that Curt Hennig won the most improved wrestler of the year. I'm like, this guy was already great.
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to say. But how do they judge most improved? Like, I mean, there was nothing wrong with Curt Hennig when he was in AWA. He was a good wrestler.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how they judge that or what these terms even mean. Like, I mean, is PWI like when you're ranked on PWI, is that like a legitimate ranking or is that like a
from there?
Ranking?
I think they have fan voting, so that's the thing. I think I know the Wrestling Observer one. Well, their Hall of Fame is different, but I think most of it's just all fan voting of their subscribers.
Right. Okay.
And they basically give them a category. They just, send in the ballots.
Right.
Not like nowadays you do like Twitter polling and shit like that. Back then you got to send in the ballots, brother. All right.
Mm.
So this one's weird. The PWI Most Inspirational Wrestler of the Year, Nikita Koloff. That Russian.
That makes sense because he had turned.
Yeah.
He had turned and he was joining Dusty to defeat the Evil Four Horsemen. That makes sense.
The Koloff.
I understand that.
So Rookie of the Year, Owen Hart. Pretty nice.
Okay, fair. Yeah, fair enough.
The PWI Lifetime Achievement goes to Paul Bosch. All right.
Okay.
And the Editors Award, which I don't even know what the hell that means. Editors Award goes to Jimmy Hart. I guess he does some good editing.
That's weird. I don't know what that even means either. Like, okay, fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Jimmy's great though.
So I think that's a pretty good list. Obviously, it looks like it's leaning more towards the Crockett territory.
Yeah.
Which most of the time these ones do. When you're like a hardcore wrestling fan, especially during this time, like I said, WWF was like a high product. But if you really like the art form of pro wrestling, you'd probably lean a little bit more towards Crockett.
Yeah, I mean, I for sure did. But then I was able to see Crockett more than I was able to see WWF anyway. So, but yeah, I mean, Crockett's my jam. Always has been.
So when it comes to the Wrestling Observer newsletter,
yeah,
there is no way at all you would ever guess who they picked to be Wrestler of the Year. There's absolutely no way you would guess it. I'll give you one guess.
Okay. Right? You give me one hint or you give me one guess?
I don't know how to hint this one.
Without telling me who it is? It's somebody, it's somebody I know who they are, though, right?
Okay, this guy is a legend, basically. Like, a real legend. Not like he's a WWE legend. No. He's a real wrestling legend.
Okay.
That won the award in 1987.
I have a guess, but
all right,
who's the guess? Right. Bret Hart.
No, because Bret Hart's still kind of new during this time. Remember, he's still in the Hart Foundation.
He was a legend. Wait, he was a legend then?
Yeah, the guy's
already a legend, or he was already a legend then.
He was already a legend when he won this award.
Oh, at that time. Okay. George the Animal Steel.
No, I thought a hairy motherfucker. Even though George, he would go great with these Howling movies.
Yeah, I mean, he's basically looks like he's turned into a werewolf already.
The Wrestler of the Year, according to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Ricky Chosu.
I would not have guessed that.
Exactly, I told you. You would not have guessed it.
Would not have guessed that.
Yeah. So that's why I wanted to talk about it, because I was like, Ricky Chosu, of all people, in 1987? But hey, it is a legend, so. All right, and then they had Most Outstanding was Ric Flair. Their feud of the year was Austin Idol, Tommy Rich, and Jerry Lawler. That's what Wrestling Observer's feud of the year was.
Okay,
tag team of the year, same as PWI, was the Midnight Express.
Mm-hmm.
Their most improved was Rick Steiner. And best on the interviews, and for the time period, I think he was the best on the interviews, won Jim Cornette.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so pretty good list. Some of the stuff was like, whoa, okay. But, Wrestling Observer has always been leaning more towards Japan, or they at least open the doors for more Japan talk than any other kind of newsletter. So I wasn't too surprised about the Ricky Choshu one, but I thought that was pretty interesting. But I think that'd be fun. Like, that'd be a fun thing to do. You know what I mean? Get the magazines in and see who won their feud and see if you agree or not. Something kind of a fun little talking thing to going on.
That's true. That is fun. I like that. We should do that more often. I was gonna say this was weird because I was thinking Ricky Choshu in 1987.
Yeah.
I wonder if they picked Ricky Choshu because that's the year that Ricky Choshu died.
Could be, yeah.
But then I looked it up, but it turns out Ricky Choshu is not dead. He's still alive to this day. Yeah. So I don't know. That's a weird Mandela effect. I could have sworn Ricky Choshu was dead, but he is not.
Huh? No, still up there and pumping.
Still doing it.
So awesome.
He didn't retire until 2019.
There you go. He's still, That might have been his best year, 1987, man. Killing it.
Yeah, maybe.
So awesome. What we got going on the metal music? This one was pretty interesting.
Yeah, so actually I wanted to talk about two things, because one thing I forgot to tell you I wanted to talk about before I sent you this other thing.
Yeah.
So the first thing I wanted to mention was, I'm not sure if you're aware, if you know yet, but yesterday the great guitarist Ace Frehley died.
Oh yes, Kiss.
From Kiss, yeah. Apparently a few weeks ago he had like a fall. He fell and he had like brain bleed, like his brain was bleeding, and then 2 days ago they put him in the hospital on life support, and then he died last night or yesterday afternoon sometime. So yesterday, as we're recording this, it's Friday night as we're recording this, so he died Thursday. But yeah, I mean, you know, Kiss, you know, they're one of the most famous bands of all time. You know, they're definitely not, you know, the best band of ever, but they did influence me a lot. Ace Frehley's guitar playing influenced me a lot, and I have a soft spot in my heart for Ace, especially. He was my favorite member of Kiss, and another legend gone. So, but yeah, I just want to talk about that for a minute, and then let you talk about Kiss if you have any you know, Kiss memories or anything that you wanted to share. I know that you're not super into them either, but I just want to see if you wanted to talk about Kiss for a minute.
Well, you know, besides talking about them on the show, you know what I mean,
right?
That we have before, the biggest thing I know about Kiss was their marketing. Obviously, they market their music and stuff like the best out of almost any band ever.
Yes.
Obviously, the look is very recognizable.
Yeah.
Their music, it wasn't like totally my thing. You know what I mean? Especially that one song, I wanna rock and roll all night. It's like all you hear, the whole song.
That's all you hear. Yeah, that's like a horrible, terrible song. But yeah, but they have much better songs than that.
Yes. But the biggest thing I know about Kiss, brother, is when they appeared on WCW, Monday Nitro.
I forgot about that.
And Tony Schiavone it's the greatest band in the world. Kiss!
Was that when they introduced the demon?
Yeah, the Kiss demon, brother.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
That's when I first knew about Kiss, was from that episode of Nitro, because I was like, who the hell are these guys?
And what year was that? Like 98?
That shit might have been like fucking 99. I think it was 99.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So that was at the end of the reunion era. So if they were, but yeah, I mean, they've always been good about selling their name, like selling anything with their name on it. But anyway, I just want to mention that. And then the thing that I want to talk about that I said earlier. Oh, sorry.
Hold on one second. I'm just checking something. All right, cool. All right, we're good. All right, just start from the thing you're going to check earlier.
Yeah, so the thing I sent you earlier that I wanted to talk about. So I don't know if we've ever talked about this band. I don't think we have. But I wanted to mention Candlemass released an album a few days before this movie came out. The album actually came out on November the 9th. So Candlemass is a band that I feel like is underrated. Like, not a lot of people talk about Candlemass, but they were this album and on, they were really good. So they were like this band, a European like doom metal band, right? So their genre is called epic doom metal, but they sort of invented epic doom metal. So before this, like, basically they were just like Black Sabbath worshipers. Like, they just like wanted to make music that sounded like Black Sabbath. So and their first album was called Epicus Doomicus Metallicus, which is where the term epic doom metal came from. But they their first album is considered a classic, but they hadn't really formed as a band yet. Like they didn't have a lead singer. Like they just hired a guy who had never heard their music before to sing their songs, to be their singer essentially. But when their second album, which is the one I'm talking about tonight, is called Nightfall. And by Nightfall, they had hired they got this guy named Messiah Marcolin to join the band and actually be a singer, and be a part of the band. And to me, this is like this is like where Candlemass really starts. Like this is where Candlemass gets really good, and all their albums from like 1987 to 1992 or so are great. Yeah. But this album is fantastic. It's like if you love Black Sabbath, you'll love this. It's very much like Black Sabbath, but it's faster. Like there's a lot of it's faster. It's not all really slow, because that's one thing that people talk about doom metal, right? But a lot of people don't like doom metal because it's always really slow. Like, really slow drums, really slow guitars. But this epic doom metal is not really like that. It's got, more high pitched vocals. It's more like power metal and doom metal mixed together, sort of. It's not as fast like power metal is, but it's much faster than like, like what we think of as most people think of as doom metal. Yeah. And Candlemass was a huge influence on one of my favorite bands, Solitude Eternus. But this Candlemass album, Nightfall, is fantastic. This album is a classic. It's got a great cover. It's got great songs. The bass player actually wrote all the songs on it, Leif Edling. He was like the songwriter. He was like the main guy behind the band. But this is the first album, in my opinion, where they were actually a full band. But it's got these really long songs, 7-8 minutes long. But yeah, I love this album. I don't know if you got a chance to listen to any of it. I didn't send it to you that long ago, so I don't know if you got a chance to hear it. But I just want to talk about Candlemass's Nightfall, because this is a great album. Anybody hasn't heard it should listen to it. You can stream it on all the regular streaming platforms. Yeah. Apple Music has it.
It's pretty.
Apple Music.
I listened to a little bit of it. I like the intro. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, the Gothic Stone. Yeah, the intro is really cool. Going into the Well of Souls. Well of Souls is a fantastic song.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think all these songs are really good. Dark of the Veils of Death. I mean, it's so good. This album is fantastic.
Now, was this like was doom metal like new around this era of It was like a new style.
It was, as far as it being named that, yeah. Okay. Like there was bands like this before. I mean, obviously Black Sabbath was like this, but Black Sabbath didn't call themselves doom metal. They were just whatever they were. They were like, they invented all of that. Like, Sabbath was like the first band to play. Well, somebody out there will probably show me that they're not the first band to play like that, but they're the first like big band, famous band that played in that style.
Yeah.
And then, and then a lot of bands copied that, and Candlemass was one of those bands that copied it, but they did it really well, and they kind of did it in a new way. But yeah, this is like the beginning of epic doom metal. And then, they influenced a bunch of other bands, but this album is like super influential. But yeah, it's like, it's like one of those, your band's favorite bands kind of bands. Yeah. Like that's what this is like. So yeah, but yeah, you should definitely check it out if you haven't heard it. But I love this album. This is what we would be listening to in the Trans Am as we're heading to see Howling III for sure.
So I guess we'd be listening to this, and then during each song, then we'd argue about who's the greatest wrestler of 1987.
We would, yeah, because I say it's Ricky Steamboat.
Yeah. Do you think Beckenridge was a big Nightfall fan?
Oh, I bet he was. I could just tell by his hairstyle that he was like totally listening to this album.
There you go, brother.
Absolutely.
What a character that guy was, man. But let's get into it.
Can't wait to talk about him.
But let's get into some behind the scenes. Why was this film made? Let's get into who booked this shit, brother.
Yeah, who booked this shit?
Well, he's back. Felipe Mora is back for some more. I guess his box office bomb. All right, it's not. Well, I guess okay. So the story was, that he claims that he had too many people telling him what to do on the story for number 2. And I guess he got a little bit more free range this time. So I guess
he wrote the script.
So I guess with this free range, he added the acid part to the Howling.
I guess so,
series, brother. Okay. So here's the deal with it. So Felipe Mori's back. Okay. And so I guess this film right here would be like a standalone film in the series. This is like their Halloween 3 basically. Okay.
Well, kind of.
A little bit.
I mean, they do reference the California werewolves.
Well, she said California for a second in her promo.
Right.
Okay. Wow.
What we had a little bit.
We had Michael Myers on the TV screen for Halloween 3, brother. Okay. So there you go.
All right.
That's what it was.
Fair enough.
So this is a standalone film because they don't reference any of the people from the fucking sister werewolf or Sheba bitch. All right.
True,
they don't
true.
reference anybody from the Howling 1, so it's its own thing. Besides your little California promo. Okay.
Right. True.
So, you know, this is also the first time in the franchise, even though we're not number 3, that the werewolves were going to be the sympathetic characters in our story.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a couple things. Felipe Mora, all right, had been unhappy with Howling 2's story, like I was saying, and how the producers added extra footage. Such as that scene where the girl's tits were 17 minutes or 17 shots of her titties. The Playboy girl. Was her name Cynthia? Mora wanted to make a third film himself to make amends and raise the money himself with co-producer Charles Waterstreet. That's an interesting name. Once Mora pitched his take to Howling rights holder Stephen Lang, he agreed to assign. Of course he agreed. This fucking Stephen Lang since fucking 1981 has been trying to make some fucking money out of this shit.
Exactly.
He'll agree to anything, brother, as long as it makes him some money.
As long as it makes him some money.
So basically he agreed and assigned the rights to an Australian company at Mora's suggestion.
Right.
Okay, so that's how we got the whole Australian angle for the Howling series in here. All right. So Mora got the idea for Howling 3 from the Tasmanian tiger. Do you know anything about the Tasmanian tiger?
Yeah, they talk about it in the movie, but it was hunted to extinction essentially.
Yes. Yeah,
because they considered that they thought it was too dangerous, so they hunted all of them until they went extinct.
They didn't look pretty badass though.
No, I know, with those big jaws.
Big jaws, those stripes down his back and shit. I was like, God damn, that shit must have fucked a lot of shit up.
I'm sure it did. I'm sure it probably was dangerous, but I mean, we don't need to be killing everything just because.
Well, we don't need to live. Well, this is back in the day, brother. They didn't think like that.
No,
they're just killing shit. So we frame the story as one of the sides where the werewolves basically it was like the werewolves are going to be the new thing that they want to go extinct.
Right.
All right. So our boy Gary's back. Remember the book guy who went to fucking Joe Dante's school to challenge him on his fucking book because Joe Dante was talking shit about it? Well, he's back. And remember, last week he had to leave the production because he was too busy writing his book.
Exactly.
All right. Kind of reminds me of a George R. R. Martin. You know what I mean? So he wrote a third book.
Right.
Look at all these books going on over here, brother. Howling 3. So basically the Howling, it's kind of based on his book of Howling 3, but it's like completely different.
Okay. But yeah.
It's like all
the same,
of them are,
but completely different.
So the novel is set in the United States, not in good old Australia, and has this different story than the film. Oh, so how is it any the
shocking?
Same? So I guess the only similarities is what they're saying in here is in terms of the plot and the sympathetic view of the vampires. I mean the werewolves. The vampires were last week, all right? So they're saying I guess the sympathetic view of the werewolves will not get explored again until we do Howling 6.
Yeah,
which
the Freaks is what it's called.
We're going to say for Retro Blood 90s because all that happened in the 90s. But, because I believe number 4, which we're going to be doing for our last review of October for the Retro Blood, is going to be the original story. All right? Like the the origins and shit. Okay.
Right.
So that's interesting. So let's see. So I like this one. Nicole Kidman was considered to play the part of. How do you say her name? Jerba?
Isn't it Jerboa?
Yeah, Jerboa. Like that's what it is. Jerboa.
Yeah.
Bro, when I was writing my notes, I stretched out. I was like, Joe Broa. That's what I did in my notes. All right, so Howling 3 only uses 2 elements from the novel Howling 3, like we said before. Those are the werewolves being portrayed in a more sympathetic light, and humans are a danger to their existence, and the experiment being formed of werewolves such as hypnosis and enforcing transformations from them. Okay. I like this one. So the werewolf, remember at the werewolf, and kind of towards the end, where he attacked the people in the tent?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think it was supposed to be like the Omega fucking werewolf.
Right.
So that was actually leftover props from that movie Razorback, 1984.
Really?
Yes. So they had that, and they formed it to make it look like a wolf going into the tent.
Okay. All right.
Even though it got a theatrical release here in the good old United States and Australia, they're like, "Nah, we ain't playing with that." So they didn't get a theatrical release in Australia. In an interview with National Film and Sound Archive of Australia, Felipe Mora spoke about particular scenes that stood out. Okay. Mm-hmm. It says, "I think the birth scene is a highlight for sure." Oh, you don't say.
You don't say.
Are you talking about the one where she just so happened to get pregnant by Donnie?
Yeah.
And that little like alien looking creature came out of her pouch? Is that the one you're talking about? All right. So it was inspired by Birth of the Red Kangaroo, 1965. I am not familiar. Maybe Andress is. I have no idea.
Yeah.
It was showing basically what I recreated in the Howling 3. It was difficult. I had to use a purified mouse. All right. Like one without diseases, basically.
Yeah.
For the scene. Put the mouse in the pouch and film it backwards as it escaped. All right.
Interesting. Okay.
The girl who played Jeroba, Igma Ansley, probably fucked up her name, did a great job as Mum, the only actress in the history of cinema who could claim a marsupial birth scene.
Really?
Really. What do you well, I guess, what do you count the alien?
I mean, I can't think of it. I can't think of another one. But
what do you count the, what the fuck is with alien? It wasn't in a pouch, but he came out the fucking stomach.
Funny that you'd say that, because I was thinking the same thing. I was like, what about alien?
Yeah.
I don't know if that counts as a marsupial birth.
I think it has to be in the pouch.
Yeah, it has to be in a pouch. Yeah.
Oh. I'm pretty sure there's some out there now. All right. But at the time, there you go.
Yeah.
So let's see. This one's obvious. The name of the colony Flo is wolf backwards. Oh shit.
No shit. My favorite part of this was like, if you can't figure out that Flo is wolf backwards, they show us the sign from the other side, so you see it spell wolf out. That was fucking fantastic. Like, for the slow kids, like it's kind of spelled out for you.
I want to know who in the fuck this Candy guy was. I mean, where the fuck did they find this guy?
Yeah.
I mean, he must have went deep into the Outback Steakhouse to find this fucking dude, bro. All right? Holy shit. I could barely understand what he was saying. Which, you know, when I was in Australia, to be honest with you, all right, like, I can understand the Australian accent better than I can the French-Canadian one when they're drinking. You know what I mean? Like, when Australian dudes are drinking and shit like that, like, they might scream, do their stuff, but I can understand usually what they're saying. All right, yeah, and yes, I did meet a bunch of drunk ones. But, brother, when I was in fucking Canada, I went to this bar, and there was like this fucking drunk French kid. I couldn't understand a word they were saying, okay? But this guy, Candy on here, he was in his own world, bro. He was taking some of that street Australian acid and just going to town.
Yeah, because he's an Aborigine. He's an Aboriginal
What is that supposed
person.
To? Does that mean he can't do acid?
No, that means he probably does do acid. But yeah, that was so he's like one of the original native population, I guess, of Australia.
So this film is also considered an Australian exploitation picture. Okay.
Okay.
By the way, we'll get to it. So the character of the director likens Jerboa to actress Kathleen Turner. Kathleen Turner, my bad. After, how do you say Jerboa? Jerboa.
I think it's Jerboa. Didn't she say Jerboa? Like she says it twice at the beginning.
Performs several takes. Yeah, she performs several takes screaming for this role within a movie. This is a unusual reference considering Kathleen Turner is not all known for works in horror films. All right.
No.
So basically, saying that's how he got the ideas. I guess Kathleen Turner screamed before within a film. All right.
Fair enough. Okay. Sure.
The film is also titled A Womb with a View. A Womb with a View.
That's weird.
A parody of the 1985 film A Room with a View. Oh, okay. I get it.
Humor.
Oh. So, but yeah. I mean, like, you know, it looked like Felipe Mora had a lot more freedom with this film.
Mm-hmm.
Which it definitely, I would say the structure and the actual like style of the film is way better than number 2. Even though you all right? What are you reading over there?
I'm not reading anything.
You got a comic, brother.
I'm looking at my notes.
All right. Are you not entertained by the Womb with the View?
You mind your business. mind your business. Anyway.
All right. Anyway, I was saying is, you know, this film like obviously was better than number 2. Even though I did appreciate a lot of number 2, especially Christopher Lee playing with a bunch of amateurs. All right.
Yeah, I mean Christopher Lee is the thing that made number 2.
But the only thing I was sad of, 2 things. Number 1, this is the only PG-13 Howling so far. So we got no titties and no ritual sex at all. All right.
Oh, okay. That is one negative. That is one con. I got you on that.
All right. And I like the story, but it was a way too wordy. All right. And I think some of the kills on here, whether they be okay, they weren't like it was okay. It was more, I wouldn't say like this movie was like, it was like a scary horror film, but it definitely, it was one of the ones that got you thinking about stuff, which I appreciated. So
I was entertained by it is what I would say. Like I just wanted to see what was going to happen next.
Yeah.
So. And that entertained me.
Yes. Allison was entertained. All right.
I was.
With this stuff. All right. Well, let's get into it. Let's get in to the Howling 3.
Let's do it.
Marsupials.
A terrifying legend never dies. It lives on. You were frightened in the howling. And you'll be horrified as never before as the howling terror continues in Howling 3, the most terrifying howling of all.
I wonder how many more of them there are out there. Jesus. But how many of them have we killed over the years? They're nearly extinct.
I think they're dangerous. Evolutionary freaks.
We possess evidence that werewolves exist.
Where, for God's sake?
Australia.
Jeez, g'day.
Want to put a shrimp on the barbie?
The howling terror continues with a whole new breed of werewolves in Howling 3. Rated PG-13. The New York Times hailed Howling III as the one werewolf movie to see this year. The New York Daily News called Howling III my kind of horror movie. And the Hollywood Reporter claimed that Howling III should attract devotees of horror thrillers.
All right. So we start off by watching some home videos from 1905.
Yes.
Now, did they have videos back then, 1905, or did they have to AI this shit?
So I don't know. I think so. I think they did have film. I know they had film, like still photography for sure. But like the first movies that I can think of were like in the early 20s. So 1905, I think, would have been a really early year for film production.
Well, they made it happen.
They didn't make it happen.
Well, in 1905, in Cape York, Australia, Alison.
Okay.
We have the natives there.
Yeah.
All hanging out a small wolf-like creature.
Yeah.
Smiling and laughing on camera.
Okay. Fair enough.
So yes. Now,
and I was going to say,
I'm guessing it was somebody from some other town that had the footage, because I don't see natives walking around with camera footage.
No. It was like I'm guessing it was somebody from somewhere else that was filming this ritual of where they were killing this werewolf.
Yes.
So doing my quick Google AI research, so there were films released in 1905.
Okay, there you go. I like it.
There was a Sherlock Holmes movie released in 1905. So yeah, there was definitely film released. So yeah, I mean, sure. They went to, Australia and saw these natives killing a werewolf. That's what we think we're watching.
I like it though, like where like they got the werewolf tied up, right? And they're all just smiling on the film, and then they all just start laughing.
Right.
And I couldn't tell. They
captured the werewolf.
Well, I couldn't tell though if it was like it was supposed to be filmed like that, or if like if it was like the actors in the film that they made they just fucked up and started laughing. I couldn't tell.
No, I think that it was filmed that way. I think that they were celebrating capturing the werewolf and killing it.
Yeah.
So when I saw this, when I first saw it, because I haven't seen this movie in many years, right? More than 20 years. So when I saw it, I was like, well, it kind of just looks like a guy in a wolf mat. But then every werewolf in this movie looked like that. So like I can't. So I think it really did. It really was supposed to represent a real werewolf. But yeah.
So now we're in Siberia.
Yeah.
We have a winter dude walks around and he freaks out because he got killed by a werewolf.
Mm-hmm.
We then now have a computer from 1987.
A 1987 computer, yeah.
Telling us. All right. It reports werewolf was sighted near a village in Luvich. 3 villagers killed. Special army are tracking monsters.
Yeah. So this is where it gets a little confusing.
Yeah.
Because in a minute, he's going to go talk to the president of the United States about werewolves.
Yes.
Which, what kind of world is this? Like, is this a world where, like, we know about... the public doesn't seem to know about werewolves, but, like...
It does, apparently.
But the president... Well, okay, but the president is somebody that we need to tell about werewolf attacks.
But he doesn't believe it either.
No, of course not.
So, the only guy who... Okay, so basically, they get the message, and these two guys, these two government agency guys don't want to believe it. So they need to go get our main character, Breckenridge.
Yeah,
all right?
Yeah.
What's his first name? Harry?
It's Harry.
Yeah, Harry,
Beckmeyer, that's his name.
Oh, what are they saying? Breckenridge? Oops.
Yeah, it's Beckmeyer. Harry Beckmeyer.
Harry Beckmeyer, brother. Okay.
Yeah, he's like an anthropologist, I believe.
Yes. He's paid by Barry Ota, which apparently is a pretty good Australian actor. So we got some Australian people on here. So Beckmeyer is like the guy who researched these marsupial subhumans or shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's weird that we got a report the report is saying werewolves, and it seems like the government agency knows of the werewolves, but they have to they have to go find a professor who talks about these subhumans but's never actually seen one before.
Yes, that is really strange. Like he's really interested in werewolves, but he's never actually seen one. But apparently the public knows that they exist.
Well, no, the public doesn't know now.
Not the public, right?
The government agencies, they know.
Right.
Kind of like, all the aliens and UFO shit. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay, good point.
I like how they have a special army tracking the monsters, even though they don't. Well, I guess we see them kind of later. Okay, so now we are at the National Intelligence Agency, and like I said before, the two agents guys are arguing over the found about these werewolves and stuff, and that's what they want to tell President, and they want to get the Beckenmeyer involved with everything.
Yeah.
So now we have Beckenmeyer. He's showing this class the Australian footage that we saw at the beginning of the film.
Right.
All right, and he is trying to be very. I mean, we get all kind of detail in here. He's like saying well. It's very strange because I don't really know how they created this werewolf mask for this particular one, because it's not like any that they have in the village. So it really makes you think. All right?
Yeah.
I was like, well, you'll find out pretty soon where that thing comes from. So we watched this, we watched more of the video, which is like some ritual thing they do.
Mm-hmm.
And he says to his class, there's no class tomorrow. He's going to Washington. By the way, if he goes to Washington from Australia, that's just like 23 hours. Bro, that's just like 25 hours. Okay?
Yeah.
That's a back and forth trip. That's going to be a tough one. So, he talks to Mr. President. And every time we saw the president here, he was pretty goofy. I guess he was supposed to be goofy or something. So, I like how this part where they kind of like, Beckmeyer asks like, oh, who's this? Why are you filming? So they kind of broke the fourth wall over there. So I appreciate that. That's kind of cool. And he's like, oh, don't worry. I'm filming this right now because, also for generations to see. All right. And study on. Okay. So Beckmeyer goes on about werewolves being real. He's like, hey, man, I think, these werewolves are real and stuff because of all this evidence I got from 1905. And of course, President, who just got a message saying werewolves are real and we got to send a special task team, thinks that he's crazy.
Right.
Okay. And, all right, so basically now they go on about the Soviet Union, all right?
Mm-hmm.
And, the president asks, do you have any proof of this one? All right, and he shows them, he shows them a picture. Beckmeyer does, and President's like, well, can it just be a deformed human? They got a lot of those. They got a lot of those in the Soviet Union, brother.
They got a lot of deformed humans over there. Yeah.
All right, and he's like, no, this is not that. It's like more of a marsupial. It's more of like a transformation. All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and all right. So now he says, okay, well, maybe go do some more research and. Maybe they just have a bunch of natural freaks down there.
Mm-hmm. Natural freaks.
So I couldn't really tell if the president was knew there was werewolves or not, because they made him to be so goofy.
Yeah, well, right. That's what I'm saying. It sounded like he kind of knew, and then sometimes it sounded like he didn't really believe him.
So also the president says that Beckmeyer is crazy, like his grandfather was. All right, and if you go down there and explore them, they're going to eat you up like raw meat. All right. So now Beckmeyer is with this other government agency guy, basically his partner throughout the whole fucking film, Professor Sharp. All right. And they're talking about, they can believe, they don't really know what to believe anymore. All right. And Sharp is saying well, I'm very skeptical on stuff because remember that video that we found of the UFOs? Yeah, it was just a condom with dog shit in it.
Yes. That was kind of weird to me, too. I'm trying to imagine how a UFO or how a condom with dog shit in it could look like a UFO.
Well, you know, you just put some editing on there, put some After Effects on there, brother. You know what I mean? You'll figure it out.
Okay, fair enough.
I don't know. Did you throw it or something? I want to see, where's that footage at? We didn't see that.
Yeah, we need to see that. We need to see that part.
So then we see the great land of Australia, the Sydney area. We have the Opera House that I was in or around many times. This one, it looked a little different in 1987. But then again, that, you know, it was like almost like, what?
Well, a lot of things did.
Yeah.
40 years ago.
40
almost.
years ago and stuff. Then we have a snow globe with the Opera House in there. We have some angry grandma.
Mm-hmm.
All right. She wants this, she wants this girl to go see the stepdad. And this is when we meet Jabroa. All right.
Yeah.
And then Jabroa doesn't want to go see the stepdad. All right. She runs off, and these other people grab her, and they bring her to the stepdad. And the stepdad is basically like the alpha fucking wolf.
Yeah.
Let's see what his name was.
Tylo. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, Tylo. Was it? Yeah, Tylo. Yeah.
Tylo. Yeah.
Yeah, Tylo. Kind of bald. He was another Australian actor, bald-looking dude. Okay.
Yeah, he was in Mad Max.
Yes.
Yes. That's the only thing I can think of. Yeah.
All right. So the girl, Jabroa, says she doesn't like her stepdad at all and stuff, and she's leaving now, and she's in a car with some nuns, and she says she's going away from her stepdad because he tried to rape her. All right. And they're like, well, why is he doing all this? It says because he is a werewolf. Okay.
Yes.
So now Jabroa is hanging out on the Australian streets. Obviously, she wasn't at Newtown because she was in a nice part of area.
Right. Exactly.
Even though I love Newtown, that's like if it was like nowadays that they're filming this film, I would have had her in Newtown because that's there's like graffiti everywhere. It's like a fucking party town. Everybody's walking in the streets and everything. Like she was like just like on the fucking side of the like right near the water. Like the nice side of the town. They would have kicked her out of there way earlier.
Right.
All right. So, well, at first, though, she was actually on the bench at nighttime. And these two guys try to go get her, but then she shows her the wolf face, so they run away. Okay. I do like it where the one guy, and tell me this works out, Alison. So he went up to her and was like, hey, let's have some fun. I will trade you my stereo.
I was confused about that as well. Were stereos that in demand in 1987 that people would have sex with you for?
Yeah, brother. You got one of them JC. What is it? JFC's ones, brother. All right. Yeah. Get that.
I thought that was really strange.
Right.
That was really strange.
Straight from Radio Shack. Right.
Yes. Wow.
RCA collection on there.
All right. Fair enough. Fair enough.
All right. All right, so now is daytime. Now she's she's still in the same area, but the park she stayed in is like the nice part of the town. You know what I mean? And she was just sitting there. So this guy comes out of the car, all right, playing all this 80s pop music out of his car. Yeah. All right, and this is where we're going to meet Donnie Martin.
Donnie Martin.
All right. He just like, okay, Alison, explain to me this.
All right. Okay, I can't wait.
I think I'm going to do this.
I cannot wait.
Because, you know, we need some talent for our horror film. Actually, okay, you know how we have a couple horror films in mind that we want to like redo, like Sledgehammer 2 and shit? I think I want to take my boy's Donnie approach. And I just want to drive downtown. If I see a hot chick sitting at a bench, I want to stop my car in the middle of fucking traffic and run to her like a creep. And corner her.
And say, I want to put you in my movie.
Yeah, I'm going to put you in my movie. All right. And by the way, I have no idea what part of Australia this guy parked his fucking car at. But when I was in Sydney for a month and a half, it took me like 30 minutes to find a parking spot anywhere I went. So I doubt this fucking Donnie guy could just park in the middle of the fucking street. Especially if it's near the Opera House.
They probably just double parked.
Fuck, bro. You know, people would have flicked them off. Anyway. So he gets out of his car. He corners J-Bra. All right. He's like, hey, you want to be in my movie? And she's like, what?
Which is the reaction you would get from any sane person.
He's like, oh, don't worry about it. My name is, I want to offer you I like this. I want to offer you a job. You ever heard of the movie Shapeshifter? All right, we're making a part 8. I was like,
Shapeshifter Part 8.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like, you're wild and beautiful. All right. My name's Donnie Martin. All right. And she's like, that's when she gives out her name. All right. And then she's like saying like, I think she agrees to go, I guess. And then because she doesn't know what a horror movie is. We'll find that out later. But then she asks, does it ever snow on the Opera House? And then like Donnie's like, I don't know. Why are you wondering?
Yeah.
So just some random fucking lines that we got there. All right, so I guess the nuns were like werewolves, and now they're trying to trace Jabra.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So now, this is when I was talking about the scene that I was talking about at the beginning. Now we're at the St. Mary's Park with those fucking statues, brother. Here,
Right.
Hold on a second. I'm going to send you a picture of one of these statues.
All right.
And I'm going to show one of them on the screen while I'm talking about this particular scene we got going on, just to give everybody a view of what we got going on over here. All right. Let me see my favorite one over here. All right. What is that one? Here we go. All right. So this is the, there's a bunch of them, but this is the one that always stand out to me. Okay. So I'm going to send it to Alison, and me and him are going to review the statue that's sitting.
Okay.
Not only in this movie, but it's been sitting here apparently for 40 years. All right. I'll put it on screen.
That's pretty amazing.
All right, Alison, could you explain to me if my detail was correct about this particular statue? What is going on over here?
I mean, yeah, that your detail is basically correct. I believe looking at this would be Theseus killing the Minotaur.
There you go.
That's what I think this is.
Now, does he want to kill him or have a good time with him? Because it kind of looks like a little bit of both.
It's kind of, I mean, the way the Minotaur is laying, I mean, he kind of looks like he's ready to receive Theseus. If you know what I mean. If you know what I mean. And then Theseus has his sword kind of behind him, and, you know, he's kind of leading with the other sword.
Right.
So, I don't know. Maybe this is like, you know.
You know what I mean?
You know, he's looking like he's ready to do it.
Now, is that part of, should this be part of the Shapeshifter 8? Return of Theseus.
Yes, I'm pretty sure that was the plot of Shapeshifters 8.
Just making sure. All right, so we're here. They're all right. So they're at the park filming. All right. And the director asks, so Donnie introduces Jabra to the director, whose name is Director, I believe. I don't know that he actually has a name.
Yeah.
Horror movie no, that's a horror movie actor. I don't know if I got his name. The director guy. But he's basically the director of Shapeshifter 8. He's on there. And the first question he asks is like, "Oh, you want to be an actress?" And Jabra's like, "No." He's like, "Perfect. No. You're going to be great."
You're going to be great.
All right.
I love the director. That guy was fantastic. Steve Shaw is the actor's name.
Yes. And he said Steve. What is it? Steve Shaw.
Steve Shaw. Like, I don't know who that is really, but I mean, he was great in this.
Yeah. So they're basically saying like, you know, can you be like an animal? Can you act like very like an animal? And she's like, you have no idea. Of course I can.
You have no idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So now the director is saying, "Are you cool with being raped by 4 animals on your opening scene?"
Yeah, that was that's kind of a crazy question to ask somebody.
Yeah, and I was just like, man, you could tell this is the 80s. They'll just say whatever.
Isn't that kind of crazy though? Like, like this movie is not rated R.
Yeah, it's PG-13. Everybody,
it's PG-13, and then there's some. I mean, there's not graphic nudity, but there's somewhat nudity in it. Lots of violence, and then like a scene where this guy like talks about like gang raping this woman.
Yeah,
and that's in his PG-13. Like,
yeah. It's pretty interesting of how like the stuff has changed like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like the way the ratings are and how we watch things.
Right.
Because the biggest example I would say, which a movie I want to do on here sometime, is the original Clue with Tim Curry. That's that's a
Okay.
PG-13 movie, brother. That is not a PG-13 movie. Okay?
So, I have seen that movie when I was a kid, but I don't really remember any of it.
It's
so
great.
I don't really know what you're talking about. But we need to do it on the show because but we've talked about this before. People are way more conservative now than they used to be.
Yeah.
And like some things in movies that you used to do, you couldn't even do now. Like I maintain that you couldn't make Nightmare on Elm Street today. Like the concept of it and the things that are in it, like you couldn't make a movie like that today. People would lose their fucking minds.
Well, they tried to make it and it sucked. The remake.
And it sucked, right? Because they had to water it down. But yeah, they people would lose their minds if a movie like that was made today. Like with Terrifier, like people are just losing their shit over that. But yeah. Anyway, continue on. This is PG-13, but we have gang rape talk. So yeah.
So basically, Jabra was saying that she's laughing at that, and she's laughing at the makeup, saying, "Oh, it doesn't really look like that." And of course, Donnie's over here like, I don't know what this fucking bitch is saying, but she's looking good right now, brother.
Yeah.
But we'll get to him pretty soon.
Yes.
So I guess this wasn't even on anything, but I guess they did say that his name is Jeff, the director, and he's one of the best horror movies around, which is weird because I couldn't find his name in any of the notes I found. All right, so now Donnie's asking her, "Hey, where are you from?" She's from Flo. All right. And she's not sure what a horror movie. Yeah, Flo who?
I think that's hilarious.
So she doesn't want to. She doesn't know what a horror movie is. So Donna's gonna take her. All right. So now they're at the movies, and the second movie within the movie is called. Okay, they watch. It Came from Uranus. All right.
Oh, it's such
high quality there, brother.
Yeah, it's such like teenage humor, which I find hilarious.
So
it Came from Uranus.
The thing, it basically what it is, a guy's in a jail cell and he's turning into a werewolf, and you have a super country girl saying, "What the hell is going on?"
And she's a nurse for some reason.
She reminds me of every Southern girl from here in Waynesboro, North Carolina.
Yes.
All right, and then of course the whole. You know what this Jabroa girl reminds me is of you, Alison. You know why?
Oh, yeah, why?
Because she's watching the transformation and she's all like, "It doesn't really happen like that." It's like Alison watching. Yeah. He's all watching that. I was like, you know what, brother? It don't really happen like that. All right, I've seen better. All
when I'm talking about werewolf transformation, that's not really how that goes.
And then she falls asleep in his arms. All right. So now, all right. I guess because Jabra put her head oh so slowly on our boy Donnie's shoulder, he's like, "Yeah, buddy, I'm getting some fucking tonight." So then we cut to his scene, and they're back in their bedroom, and they have the poster of A Beast Within, which I believe was another Felipe More film.
Yeah, it was. Great film.
I don't believe we've done that one yet.
I don't think we have. We were going to do it, but we didn't. But we will do it.
Yes.
It is a movie that we are going to
That
do.
is probably... Because we were trying to figure out when we did our review of the Howling 1 2 weeks ago. We have talked about Felipe Mora before. You know, but
because he directed Communion.
Because he did Communion. All
yes.
right? But this is the other film we were thinking about doing for him too, was The Beast Within. So
yeah. Which
we'll get to there eventually.
We will.
I kind of like his films, man. This guy Felipe More. One thing about him, his films are definitely not boring. I'll give him that. They are definitely trippy. This one is more on his trippy side. It's not as trippy as Communion was, but this one is definitely pretty trippy so far.
Yes.
All right. So basically, she's basically saying that werewolves, they do not transfer because of a full moon. That's some Hollywood stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
And she is basically saying all this stuff about werewolves. And then Donnie's like, "Well, are you a werewolf?" She's like, yes, I am. And I don't know if he believes right now. I think he's just trying to get some ass. So he's like, okay, whatever. So
you're a werewolf. He wants to come back to my place.
Yeah. He wants to take off her top, but she denies him because I think she got the hairy titty.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For being a werewolf.
Right. And,
all right, so then he wants more loving. All right, we see a full moon. They sleep, and then we hear some screams, which is like in the dream. And for some reason, like both of them are like super wet. So we don't see any of the sex because it's PG-13, but these guys are sweating.
Right.
I guess they don't believe it. I guess when they have sex, they don't have sex with the AC on.
I guess not. I'm assuming that they're just like that's just sweat. But like you would think that maybe they would take a shower, but maybe they just haven't got around to it yet.
Yeah, just doing their thing, brother. All right. So now we have Beckmeyer. He's back with Sharp. All right. They're watching the Australian footage again. How many times do you think this guy has seen that fucking Australian footage?
Well, we see it several times in this movie, like 4 or 5 times for sure.
All right,
they really like that.
Like he has a whole class about it, and he's still not sure what's going on in the fucking film. All right.
Yeah.
All right, and all right, and then okay, I like this part too, because he says, Beckenmeyer says, you know what? I just can't figure out where this film was shot. And I was like, fuck, it told us at the beginning of the film, but it's in Cape York, Australia.
Exactly.
Did you not read the title?
I guess he just didn't read the subtitle when it came in, yeah.
So now we get more of the film crew, okay? And they are so now we're seeing some film shots over here. All right. We see the girl scream. All right. And this is when Jabra is doing her screaming. And she does it a couple times. And then Jeff's like, okay, cut. All right, everything looks good here. Y'all, don't forget about the party. All right. And then, of course, Jabron, she's like, hey, I think I could do better. He's like, no, it was fine. And she's like, no, I want to do better. So she wants to do good. And, of course, Jeff thinks that she could be the next girl from Psycho. She could be in that category.
Yeah, all of that's really weird comments to make, I guess. But earlier an hour ago, she didn't know what a movie was, and now she thinks she can be a better actress, I guess.
Yeah, come on, brother. Well, remember, she's wolf-like, so she can scream because she's a wolf.
Exactly.
Brother.
She's wolf-like.
All right, so now we get to the party, which this party was pretty trippy looking.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And, all right, the Jabro girl, she starts to act up a little bit because the strobe lights. So we find out in this film that the full moon doesn't get you to turn into werewolves. Most of the time it's just a feeling. But the only thing that can trigger you to turn into a werewolf is strobe lights. Yeah.
Well, right, because they talk about that, because it's what triggers epileptics or whatever. So yeah, they do talk about that. I mean, they don't explain why, but that's one of the things that can. And then they talk about how they can do it when they get mad, and sometimes when they just feel like it.
So we got a bunch of things. So everybody's kind of drunk at this party. We have Jabro and Donnie run off to do some more sex.
Mm-hmm.
She's trying not to turn. Our boy Donnie's horny. Then she runs away and she goes into the city. Donnie follows her. We have the wolf nuns have arrived at Jeff's party.
Yeah, that was great.
He likes them. He likes their costumes, so he lets them in. They come in and then everybody leaves. I guess they scared them all away. All right. So then Donnie sees that Jabro got hit by a car, and now Donnie, after meeting her for what, maybe a week?
Maybe.
He loves her. That's cute.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I love Donnie's transformation during this whole movie. Like he goes from being this like nerdy American filmmaker guy to Crocodile Dundee by the end of this movie.
I know. And then then he goes back. Then he goes back to like assistant bitch at the end of the film.
Right, exactly.
All right. So so this is when we have Jabron. She's passed out, and the doctors are checking out, and she's like, he doesn't know what's going on with her whole body because he thinks it's all foreign and alien because he has pouches and hair everywhere. So they all think she's an alien. All right. So then they have to call in some people. Okay.
I love how Alien is the go-to for this.
Yeah.
It's
This
not
shit
a
might be an
medical
alien,
issue.
brother.
She must be an alien.
She's an alien, brother. All right? Don't be telling me she's not. All right, so we have somebody from the hospital calling Sharp, and Sharp tells Beckeridge about the girl in the hospital. So they all go head over there. All right, so now the nurse is telling Donnie that the girl is in stable condition. All right? And Donnie's like, oh, I love her. I love her. I was like, brother, we know.
You just met her.
Yeah, you just met her, bro. And then she's like, they tell her to go away. Okay?
Yeah.
So now Jabro's having a bunch of dreams about the whole events of the whole movie. We see some downtown Sydney shots. Maybe this is when they were in Newtown.
Maybe.
And then we see that there's a baby alien woof video with them screaming. And she wakes up and she passes out. And then Beckeridge is there and he's like, I wonder how many there are of them. Thank you, Beckeridge.
Could be millions.
Yes. So they leave the hospital. Nuns are at the hospital now. Jabro is now turned into a werewolf. Beckeridge talks talking like this is a new species and humans and there's the pouches and everything. All right. And now this is when we have the wolf nuns. They're taking out all the people in the hospital. All right. And then they take Jabro out and they kidnap her basically. They take her back to the native land of Flo. All right. So now Don is talking with the cops in Beckmeyer. All right. And they're basically trying to get some information about where she could have gone. And he's basically saying, I love her the whole time. Okay. And he says, I think she said she was from a town called Flo. Okay.
Yeah.
And then he asks, like, hey, you guys ever had sex together? And he's like, what does that matter?
Yeah.
And he was like, was it normal sex?
Well, it depends on what you mean by normal. I mean, ouch.
And he's like, well, why do you ask all this stuff? Yeah, it was normal. He's saying, because she was in very early stages of pregnancy. And Donnie is all like happy about this. And I'm just thinking, brother, you just met this girl and she's already early stages of pregnancy. And you're all like he wasn't really shocked, but he was all, it was just really strange, I guess.
Right. Yeah, I completely agree. It was really odd.
It was like, I get, people fall in love and they get pregnant very quickly and stuff like that. But like, if they would have told me like she's already in early stages of pregnancy and I just screwed her like a week ago, I think I'd be like a little weirded out. You know what I mean?
I'd be a little bit alarmed.
Yeah. So, let's see. Because,
but it's
usually
1987 though.
Yeah, it's 1987. Well, I mean, I'm not saying that him, having sex with her and loving her within a week is unnormal. We see a bunch of people get like that. I'm saying if they told me after knowing the girl from Friday to Friday and I had sex with her maybe on Wednesday, she's already in early stages of pregnancy, I'm like, damn, that was quick.
Yes.
First of all, I would think, damn, do I got super sperm? All right. So.
Wow. Yeah.
Yes.
You definitely do.
Well, I don't, but our boy Donnie mine over here. All right, so basically he says he has to find her now because he's the dad. All right, so now all the people take notes and everything. All right, and we see that they're laughing about this whole conversation that Beckmeyer and Donnie had. All right, they're either like laughing or they're shocked about it. So now we have the main werewolf guy. What was his name again? Thyroid? Okay.
Thylo.
Yeah, Thylo. He's back. He's telling the crew to take. Obviously Jobro and stuff is very defiant towards him, so he tells this crew to take her away. I put in my notes they do some ritual stuff, non-ritual sex, just ritual stuff. So now we see a brand new wolf character. All right.
Yes.
And I believe her name, all right, is the Russian girl. Okay. Olga.
Yes.
We see Olga and her other wolf friend. Okay. And she wants to, she doesn't want to dance tonight. She's not feeling that well. And the partner guy checks her teeth saying, oh, your teeth are good, so you should be fine. Okay. Then he gives her a photo, and now the girl is super excited, and she keeps doing like this like yawning crow thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
I don't really understand that, but I guess that's what werewolves do.
Well, okay. So I just wanted to mention that I feel like everything that this woman did playing Olga was really weird, and I feel like she overacting is not the word. It was just she was just extreme in everything that she possibly did.
Yes.
And then I feel like all the werewolf noises she made were really odd. It's just like they just told her to imagine what a werewolf sounds like, and then she did that.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
So they're rehearsing, and this is when Sharp and Beckmeyer, they actually got invited to these rehearsals. Sharp did. So he brought Breckenmeyer with him. So they're watching these rehearsals, and I guess somehow and way the Olga got turned into her werewolf form and started attacking everybody, and they all start freaking out. So they get her to the hospital, all right, and they're trying to do some tests on her. She doesn't want to do the test, but then the power failure, the power goes out, and her lover wolf shows up. He attacks, and he actually gets shot 4 times from a cop. All right?
Yes, not 6 times.
Not 6 times. And then we have Olga turns into a wolf. All right. The lover boy. I like my notes. The lover boy is dead. She pisses. She's pissed. She throws people out of the building.
Yes.
So they all flying out there. And while the guy's falling down, we hear the All Falling Down song. All right.
I love this scene. I loved everything about this. Like the fake, like it's not even a mannequin. It's just like, I'm pretty sure it's clothes, like stuffed with the things that they threw out of the building. Yeah. To represent the guy falling out of the building. And then they have the reggae falling down song. Yeah. That was like, I could just hear Felipe Mora hearing that song and saying, oh, that's perfect for my
perfect
movie.
Scene.
Yeah, perfect.
So then we get a sorry mate.
Sorry, mate.
There's 2 things I wasn't able to say as cool as the Australians could say it.
Right.
Number one is mate, and the other one is cunt.
Yeah.
They say cunt.
That's true.
They say cunt and mate a lot better than us Americans.
Very well. Did you hear sorry mate a lot while you were there?
Oh yeah. You hear mate and no worries a lot. Cunt you hear here and there. I guess you got to be like a little bit more like drunk to hear most of the cunt stuff.
I guess so.
Even though cunt to me is more like an English thing, but they do say that on there. All right, so basically the guy's saying sorry mate to Sharp, saying this area's been shut down, but then Sharp's like, I got credentials. All right, he looks at the paper and saying, and then the guy makes the joke saying, well, I hope you find this thing like you would find the flying kangaroos.
Funny.
So we go to the flow area. All right, Beckmeyer and Sharp are there. All right. The guy wants to put a shrimp on the Barbie. That's another Australian thing. Which I'm not exactly still to this day not sure what that means, but it sounds cool. So,
yeah. Did you hear that a lot while we were there?
I heard that that was a saying, but I don't know what it was like in reference of.
Okay.
All right, but I did hear that, and then you got to do the scooter or the pint for their beer. All right. So they asked if anybody, anybody lives here, saying, they're basically asking this Towns guy, which was this Candy that they're asking? There was some old dude saying, like, is there, like, any wolves here? And he says, I don't like these wolves and stuff. All right, and this is when Jabron looking at step down. She walks away. Then I put in my notes, she gets naked in the hay, PG-13 style, so we don't see any good stuff.
Yeah, because she's covered in fur.
Yeah, she's all covered in her fur and stuff. And then this is when she gives the whole big scene. Philippe Maury's favorite scene of the movie. She gives birth to a little marsupial mouse creature.
This was amazing. I love this scene.
What about the breed? Remember that? They had some cool little birth scenes.
Oh, that's true. That was cool too. Yeah, that was cool too.
We'll have to do that movie sometime down the road.
We knew, definitely.
So we have Olga now. She's remember she escaped after she killed all those people. Mm-hmm. And she is now arrived to Flo. Okay. Yeah. And she goes straight to Thai. Mm-hmm. All right, Thailand or whatever his name is.
Right.
And then she hugs him and kisses him out of nowhere. Okay. So now Beckmeyer wants the military not to kill them all. All right, we have to study them. All right, but like it's kind of like a, so basically the military wants to come out here and basically kind of like evaporate them. And Beckmeyer is like, no, we can't do that. We got to actually study these guys. All right, so it's like a little back and forth they're having. So Sharp thinks like they are dangerous evolutionary freaks. So he's all about killing them.
Yeah.
All right.
Which, so this is where we start the whole thing about how, some of them, like the military wants to just eliminate all the werewolves, and then like the scientists want to study the werewolves because they're just, endangered species or whatever.
Yeah. So we see some wolf cave art. All right. Donnie has finally made it to Flo and he meets Jabron in the cave. She shows him the kid. He's like, hell yeah. Kisses the boy. She's like, how do you know I was coming? She's like, well, I sensed you. All right. And he's like, I don't hate you at all. I love you for what you are. So they leave. And then the army goes up against the wolf gang. All right. So Beckmeyer talks to the Olga, werewolf, saying that the killing brought this on. And she says, humans have been killing us for thousands of years.
Yep.
And I'm just thinking, well, wait a minute. They didn't know you existed until like a week ago.
Well, no, but I mean, like some humans have been killing them for decades, for thousands of years. Yeah, for sure.
Well, we've been killing each other for 1,000 years. What's the big difference?
We have footage from 1905 at least of one of them getting killed.
All right. So then she calls him a pig, and he wants him to examine her. And he wants to examine her to get some answers. So she agrees. So basically, during the raid, I'm not sure if they killed all the werewolves, but we got a couple werewolves spared. And that was Olga and Thailand. All right.
Yeah.
What was his name? Thyroid?
Thylo.
Well, I don't know why I can't say his fucking name. So this is when they hook her up. They ask her where she comes from. She starts rambling a bunch. She says that she's part human, part wolf. Well, no shit.
No kidding.
She says, he asks, like, have you always been this way? And she's like, yes. All right. She's trying to tell a story, and then she freaks out a little bit. Becca Rich now touches her, and now he wants to kiss her.
Yes.
I guess that Olga werewolf crazy pussy is like luring our boy Beckmeyer. He's like, I've been studying you for my whole life, and I already know my boy Donnie got to mate with one of you. You know what? I'm a freak. I'll get in there too, brother.
Yeah. Again, everything that Olga does is like super exaggerated and crazy.
It is.
Which I love.
That's why she was rambling. I couldn't understand what the fuck she was saying in that damn chair.
She was just, yeah.
So Jabro is holding the wolf kid. All right. This is when the weird gray beard guy, I guess he was a werewolf. That's Candy. Shows up. All right. We are the only ones around. All right. Now we have Thylo strapped up, making faces at the camera, which actually was pretty cool. I actually liked this scene because the way they did this was like kind of like realistic with him. Not Olga's one was kind of corny, but the Thylo one was cool.
Like, was great. Yeah,
it was like actually I was like kind of ahead of its time because we've seen a lot of movies do this where you're filming the screen that he's being filmed on. And he doesn't know what, he's a wild animal and shit like that. He doesn't know what films are. Never seen his reflection probably before. So he's doing like all these like realistic like stuff like you would do if you're looking yourself on camera. You know what I mean? For the first time.
Yeah.
I thought this scene was really cool. All right. So then they start talking about all right. So they start talking about like, why did Olga just show up to your tribe and start kissing you? He's like, well, my mom told me this is gonna happen.
Weird.
And they're like, what?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, my mom told me that one day some girl from another tribe was just gonna show up or start kissing everything. And there you go. She was right. All right. And then they said, like, he's telling the story, like, basically how they change, and he's saying, like, yeah, there's something about these, like, lights and stuff that make me, like, freak out and change. So then they start strobing lighting him and he starts freaking out.
Yeah, because he says, like, flashing lights can make him change sometimes. Yeah. So they conveniently have a strobe light there that they use on him.
Yeah, they start using it on him.
Right.
All right, and then basically, so many people want to turn it off, but Beckmeyer wants to keep it going because he wants to see the full transformation.
Mm.
All right. Okay, so now Tyler freaks out so much that he starts breaking through a bunch of stuff.
Yes.
And apparently, they eventually calm him down, and everything. But during this stuff, Beckmeyer got bitten, and now Sharp thinks he's going to turn into a werewolf, but he's like, no, that's just myth. So in this movie, if you get bitten by a werewolf, you don't turn into a werewolf.
Right.
All right. And this is when they notice that when they shot down him, this is when they noticed that he had that tiger stripe on him. So now there's a whole bunch of big scenes where it was they were doing some studying about the tiger that we talked about earlier. Right. And how it's extinct and how it went extinct and everything. We saw footage of this tiger on the show, which is pretty crazy. All right. It's kind of rare cheetah on there. I guess, yeah. All right. So now they're talking about the Phantom. Okay. And apparently the Phantom was the first ever werewolf. Okay. And they were born, and they're all like, basically what they're saying is from this tiger that got extinct, the souls of the tigers that went extinct went into the werewolf man bodies now. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like how they were formed, I guess.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. So they start talking about how the government agencies want to wipe out this whole species, and Beckmeyer thinks it's crazy. All right, so they come up with the pan. All right, so basically what they're showing now is basically Queen Elizabeth. Okay, and this other president, which I didn't grab the name, they ordered the killing of these animals during their time. Okay.
Yeah, I think it was Harrison. President Harrison.
Yes. So during their time, these species were alive, and they ordered the killing of these species. Okay, and basically, our government, the U.S. government, now wants to follow with the footsteps of them. But Beckmeyer thinks it's crazy because we're evaporating a species, and they just want to wipe it out because they got warnings back in the past that they're dangerous, so they need to be eradicated. All right, and they brought up these animals might have a satanic nature.
Yeah, that came out of nowhere.
If there's one thing that we know about 1980s, if you bring up the word satanic, everybody freaks better.
Yeah, I mean, all of a sudden we start talking about the devil.
Because I think you could, I think if this story was made nowadays, I don't think they would have brought up the satanic part. I think they just would have brought up the danger of the actual creature. You know what I mean? That's why it needs to be eradicated because it can't form into human life. Right. You know, it can't, I don't think they would have brought up more to the point where they don't think it could acclimate to human life. And that's why, and it'd be a danger to human life. That's what they would want to destroy it compared to it just being some satanic ritual shit. All right. Which we'll find that payoff soon.
Yes.
All right, so Baker Lynch wants to talk to the president, but the president gave this general full authority of everything, and that they're going with their plan to eradicate them. Baker Lynch argues with the Sharp, who believes they are dangerous, but Breckenridge wants to do tests. All right, so he does more tests on the Olga wolf. All right. And then Olga says that the bald one, all right, the thigh one, is a marsupial. All right, and she says there's tribes all over the world. And this is when we get the tribes from everywhere, like California. What did she say? Tokyo and all that shit. I don't know. It's all over the world. All right. This is when we got Jabra and Donnie. All right. Okay, so basically Olga is saying that she is worried, okay, that they're all going to eradicate her and stuff. And Beckmeyer's like, I'm not going to let that happen. Okay?
Right.
So during all this, we have Jabron and Ben. All right? They're getting, they're trying to hide, basically, from all the soldier guys. All right?
Yeah.
And then the Beckermeyer is now going back and he lets free Olga. All right? And Thyron. All right, out of the prison. The general thinks that Becker is either one of them or he's a pain in the ass.
Yes,
All right?
one of the two.
So they're setting out the special team that does nothing. All right. So now we have Ben and Drobo. They're getting chased by hunters and cops. All right. A hunter shoots something, but it's a kangaroo. Jabro hears the guns, but then it's this crazy old guy, Candy. He shows up, saying dangers everywhere. Donnie doesn't believe in ghosts, and Candy goes away. So basically, Candy's plan is he's going to take some acid. He's going to paint his body. He's going to do some wolf rituals to call upon the spirit of the Phantom. That sounds like a fun Friday night to me, brother.
Yes, exactly. So he's like their spiritual leader, sort of.
Yeah.
Like, he's like this Aborigine. He's like a spiritual leader for them, for the werewolves, sort of.
So
but he's going to call on the Phantom Wolf.
So now the cops are looking around and everything. They see some paw prints on the. So basically, there's this whole like chase scene where Jabron and Donnie they get into the car and they run away, and then the cops chasing them, and then they get out, and then the cops all it sees is there's some werewolf tracks, and the other cops making fun of them, saying like it's just making jokes the whole time. So Jabron's talking about the Phantom. He says sometimes the Phantom is on our side, sometimes it's not. Oh, okay. So we have Beckmeyer and crew. They're going back to the flow. Candy takes acid, paints himself.
Yeah.
Needs help of Mondo.
Yes.
Have you ever took some acid and called upon the Mondo there, Alison?
I've come close a few times.
So we have hunters chasing down. All right, Jabbo and just trying to they're trying to trace the werewolf tracks. All right. And this is like the scene where like there's like this one like guy from the flow camp who kind of looked like Candy, but it wasn't Candy, saying that, hey, don't go in there. There's gonna be a big giant like wolf that's gonna stab up your ass and everything. He's making all these jokes and stuff.
Right.
And then they didn't believe him, and guess what? The wolf shoves everything up their ass and tears them apart.
Yeah, that's incredible.
So Candy, this is what I put in my notes. Candy right now is tripping hard, and he calls for Jabron. Says the Phantom was inside of him, and they're saying. Then he falls down, and they're like, "This part I actually thought was pretty funny." He falls down, and they're like, "Oh, don't worry, you're gonna turn into a river. You're gonna be raining in the mountains." And then Candy's like, "No, I'm not. I'm just gonna fucking die." And then he dies. All right, and then the wolf crew, all right, they burn Candy now, all right, and then this is when Beckenridge and all of them are there now. Okay, so we have more hunters around. The crew rates around. All right, Don tells the Thylo guy to stop staring. All right, and now Thylo wants him to go back to the city. Thylo now leaves because he's pissed off. The hunter soldiers, they see a dead wolf, but that wolf lights up. I guess the dead wolf was supposed to be Candy. All right.
Yeah, no, so they burned his body, and this is his skeleton, which is now apparently alive,
and it attacks him, and it bites one of the soldiers,
and has glowing eyes.
Yes, and then he falls down. Then they so now they want to wait for Thylo, but they don't. Okay, and then Thylo now takes acid, and he paints his body to get the spirit of the Mondo.
Yes.
All right. See, Alison, the thing is, you just don't know your spiritual side.
That right,
like they do, brother.
And
That's
you're definitely much more spiritual than me for sure. So I'm sure you tap right into that spiritual.
How do you know
side?
How do you know when I'm not drinking my beer? That I'm not calling the spirit of Mondo.
You probably are.
Yeah, buddy.
You probably are.
All right, so basically, he needs help changing into the alpha wolf. All right, so the soldier is sick. So the soldiers keeps answering each other like, "Hey, you okay? Yeah, you okay?" And this is when we get a huge, ginormous wolf attacks them through the tent. Really cool scene.
Yeah, it was awesome.
And then the soldier blows them all up. So I guess the spirit gave Thylon the credit of being the giant wolf, but then he got blown up by a fucking rocket launcher.
Yeah. And I thought that was hilarious. Like he was going to try to shoot that wolf with a rocket launcher. That was great. And then,
So then we get cut. The president's doing bad exercising. Sharp wants to have him stop killing these things, and he thought he was going to go on board with it, but then Sharp's having second thoughts now. The president's saying they're not human. They're only half human. All right. She's like, "Well, have you seen Beckenridge and all?" And Sharp's like, "Nah, I think he fell in love with that Russian wolf." And he's gone now.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, the president's like, "Well, at least it was a woman." That ain't gonna fly nowadays, brother.
No,
right?
no.
Yeah, he said thank God I was a woman, and thank Christ for that. Hey, I'm just the messenger, brother. All right. So Beckenmeyer and the Russian girl Olga, they love each other now. Okay, that was quick too. And then now they all are like on this farm now, and now they're all just a happy family. Kid smiles. I guess the kid's grown up that Jeb Brown had. Then they both have kids, and Ben wants to go. Donnie wants to go back to the city, and they both want to just change their looks and their identity.
Yeah. So I mean, maybe I'm stupid, but I couldn't really figure out how much time has passed in this. Is it a lot of time?
I think when it had to be. So the kid was just a baby. So the kid looked like at least he was 10. So it's 10 years, I guess. They didn't say it on the screen.
I guess.
But it looked like it was 10 years. They grew up on the farm.
I guess.
But then Jabrown and Donnie were bored of the farm. They want to go back to city life. So they decided to go. Beckenridge says it's dangerous. You can get killed out there. They're just like, we don't give a fuck. We're leaving. So they leave. Beckenridge is staying because he's a hipster now.
Yes.
All right. Because he got what he wanted, brother. He's like, fuck it, brother. I don't need a mortgage out here. I don't need to train. I don't need to teach all these asshole students. I'm just gonna sit here. I'm gonna sit here in my farm
live in the jungle
and bang my wolf girl.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So they all leave. Beckenridge is now sitting around, dancing around, all happy. They all teach the kids how to do stuff. Sharp shows up. He's like, I found you. All right. He's like, how did you find us? He's like, well, I read it in the newspaper. All right. That there was somebody doing some, medicine out here. And I just knew it was you. All right.
Okay. Sure.
So now Sharp explains, saying, yes, these last couple of years, it was a witch burning. But then, the almighty Pope, who is actually American now, if y'all knew that.
That is strange, but yeah.
The almighty 1987 Pope proclaimed to the world that these marsupial vampires, werewolves, are not satanic in
They're
nature.
not satanic. Yeah.
And the president was like, oh, well, that's all you had to tell me. So they stopped the witch burnings. So everything's all good now. Everything's fine.
Yeah.
And then he's like, well, what happened to Jay Brown and Donnie? He's like, I don't know. They left 15 years ago. All right. And now, so I thought, so I didn't know how this movie ends, obviously.
Right.
And I was thinking maybe the sharp guy is like tricking them. You know what I mean? To like capture them and experiment them and shit. But no.
Right. Nope.
So now we're back in Hollywood. We see Donnie and Jabron. All right. They want to put more sex in this movie. Remember, this is
well, no, he
PG-13.
does.
Yeah, he does.
He does, but she doesn't. They're just sitting around smoking, talking about how, arguing about whether there should be more sex in this taxi scene or not.
Of course, brother.
And there probably should be. Yeah.
All right. So now we're in the University of San Andreas. Okay. Beckmeyer's there, showing his Australian footage again after 25 years.
It's now, because now we're what?
Yeah, it'd be like 25 years.
We're like up to like 2012 or something now.
Yeah, he's still going at it.
When it's taking place.
Yeah, still going at it, brother. So apparently he does teaching of his story now, of how he found this werewolf girl and he banged her and shit. All right? And Sharp is there, all right, and saying that, they couldn't find Jojo Bennett, even though they, I put in my notes, he said at the end of his speech that they could, after Jabron and Donnie left 15 years ago, he could not find him, any trace of them at all.
Right.
And I put in my notes, even though they're making fucking movies, I'm sure the girl changed her name, all right, and maybe her look, maybe she dyed her hair or something, but she looked the same to me when I saw her.
Yeah, she looked exactly the same.
Maybe he doesn't watch those movies. Maybe there's just too much sex in those movies for Beckenmeyer.
Maybe.
All right. So now Beckenmeyer excuses the class, and now Beckenmeyer meets the son. Of Jabron and Donnie.
And he's like 20 years old now.
Yeah. All right. And he's all like, "Oh, I remember you." All right. And the kid, it says, he's like, "Yeah, the parents changed names." All right. And he's like, "Oh, I would like to meet him." He's like, "Well, you can watch them tonight on TV." Because we're at the 82nd Annual Academy Awards, and apparently Jabron's such a great actress that she's winning an award. All right, but remember, Beckenmeyer, he's a hipster, so he doesn't watch TV, so he doesn't know that was her at all.
Right, he doesn't know.
But she did change her name. Okay, so this is the winner of the Best Actress. It's Mrs. Crawford. That's her new last name.
Yeah.
So she's on stage. She starts thanking all the family, and what do we get? Which I thought this was ridiculous, because if this girl's so fucking famous, all right, you're telling me that nobody has ever gone up to her and just done a bunch of flashbulbs in front of her face before? Just this one time where she won the Academy Award? Huh?
Well, okay. No, I see what you're saying. But I don't know how. Yeah. Okay, never mind. I was gonna say I don't know how famous she really is, but I guess she is famous.
Academy Award. She gotta be kind of famous.
So I guess she is pretty famous. Yeah.
Unless you're telling me in 1987 that they never ran up to somebody and started flashing them, I would say bullshit on that, bro.
No, they did. And just think, 20 years ago, she didn't even know what a movie was.
Yeah, so she wins the award. We get a bunch of flashbulbs, and guess what? Just like the first movie, she turns into a werewolf in front of the live audience, and then we have a mixture of people freaking out and then people laughing.
Yeah, so it's kind of like how the first movie ended, sort of.
Yes. All right, and then this whole the last thing we see is Sharp. He's laughing for some reason. I'm not sure why. Maybe because Maybe because he planned everything. He was all like, "I got the last marsupials left. I got Beckenmeyer's bitch, Olga.
Maybe.
I know where they live now. I'm gonna go kill her. And I exposed Crawford, Jabron, to the world." That's why he was laughing, because he's a sinister motherfucker. That's what I thought.
Right. Yep.
So, but everybody, that ends it. That ends the Howling 3 Marsupials. Not a pretty good movie. Like I said, a whole lot of detailed talking in this movie. But I thought overall it was pretty enjoyable. So
I did. I like this movie a lot. Like I said, this is my favorite of the series, just because it's so damn weird.
Yeah, it is strange.
And it's not at all what you would expect this movie to go, the series to go after you see number 2 and 1.
Yeah.
But yeah, Felipe Mora like really redeemed himself from Howling 2, I think.
Yeah.
This is he took it upon himself to write the movie and give us this weird ass werewolf marsupial Australian movie.
Yeah. Pretty cool, man. I liked it. I thought
That
it
was
pretty
pretty cool.
So, but everybody, join us here next week on the Retro Blood as we finish out this series review of the Howling series from 1980s. All the 1980s Howling movies will be done because we're talking about the Howling 4.
Yes.
Was it the original tale?
The original, yeah, something like that, yeah. I can't, yeah. Howling 4 is going to be fantastic.
Howling
I haven't
4.
seen this in a very long time. So
I've
we'll
never
see how
seen
this
it,
goes.
so.
We'll see how this goes.
Let's see what it says. 1988. Howling 4, the original Nightmare.
The original Nightmare, that's what it's
Yes.
called.
And we're still debating what to do about Howling 5. So
Yeah.
it does say 1990, but then I got some that was 1989.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it was
We'll
actually
see.
released in 1990, so technically
Yeah.
it doesn't count for us.
Yeah. So, but that'd be fun to do. We'll eventually explore that sometime. But also too, coming up pretty soon, dropping from the lights out on
Yeah.
Halloween. I have challenged Alison to have a huge discussion on Halloween H2O 20 years later.
I can't wait. I have a lot to say about this movie. I can't wait. I can't wait to do this.
We're forgetting Halloween. Nobody ever brings up Halloween 3 in the timeline, but we're forgetting we're forgetting the Thorn cult storyline, and we're
all gone.
We're just talking about the first two movies.
Yeah. So to give a little bit of a hint on that one, I haven't seen this movie since it came out in the theaters.
Yes. Oh, there you go.
So we'll see what I think
fun.
of it now, 20 years later.
So we'll be dropping that on. Watch out for that one on the Halloween. And before the season is over, I will be dropping my very own Why I Love This Movie. I'll be talking about scary stories to tell in the dark movie.
Yeah.
And I'll be talking about the books, my love for it, all that stuff. So check that out. It's going to be more of a short reader. So.
I was gonna say those are all great, so
Yeah.
everybody should listen to this. Why I love this? Yeah, those are great when you do this. Love it.
But Alison, to get on out of here, what do you feel like playing? We talked about two stuff. What do you want to play? Do you want to play some Kiss? Do you want to play some Nightfall? What do you want to play?
Man, let's play some Nightfall. Let's play Well of Souls.
There we go. For all of our podcast listeners, we got some Nightfall, Well of Souls on here because there was a lot of Well of Souls going on in this movie, brother.
There was.
We had the souls of the marsupial wolf creatures just trying to live their lives and do mouse pouch demons coming out of them. We had Donnie just wanting more sex in this film. And then we have Becca Meyer still teaching that story today and still wondering where that damn footage was from.
Still showing the same footage from 1905.
Still showing it. J.H. Alison, James Kline. We'll see y'all next week on the Retro Blood.
See you guys.